All right, YouTube. It's the brand new format for my DoorDash daily recap videos. I'm going to start calling this the speed recaps, where I'm just going to kind of key in on one or two stories from the Dash that I talk about. But the rest of the orders, I just start flying through. No fluff, no screenshots anymore. So this is just vlog style, bare bones basics here, folks. This particular video, I'm covering the Dash on Tuesday, May the 28th, 2024. Start time for the Dash 5:50 in the morning. First offer was a decline, 475. Pardon my cheesesteak, going 9.7 miles. No thanks. And I believe that was the first of, I think I only had two declines for the Dash. Next was I went ahead and took a $14.50 Meyer, stacked Meyer, but only three total items, which is weird for a stack. So customer A just had two items, food items. I don't remember what they were, but it was easy to shop. And then the second customer, I noticed even before I went into the store, I noticed that whatever this was apparel. And I was like, apparel? And this is the subject story for this video. So like I said, I shopped the two items for customer A. Customer B was a 6-pack of, I want to say, Fruit of the Looms t-shirts for a toddler boy. Okay. Thank you very much. Give me something tricky to find here. I'm in the aisle number that's given in the app is actually like an infant's aisle, and I don't see any t-shirts or whatever in that aisle. So now I just basically just got to start walking through the whole children's clothing department. And I find a boys section with, now for Fruit of the Loom, there was only briefs on this display, no shirts. But I did see in another brand, I want to say it was Hanes, or I don't know, a different brand, was a 5-pack of white t-shirts instead of 6. It was $10. It might even been cheaper than the original item. So I messaged the customer, is this okay for the substitute? And they said, perfect, that'll work. Okay. I go in the app, add a new substitution. I go to scan it and it won't scan. I've had this happen before. It's so irritating how the app will let you substitute some items, but other items it won't, either doesn't recognize or won't allow. I don't get it. So I made the mistake. I'm going to try to remember never to do this again. But I made the mistake of telling the customer that, hey, you're going to have to make this change and add this substitution. I need to stop doing that because the customers really, for the most part, the customers don't know what they're doing. And it's probably in all likelihood going to take them longer to get something accomplished than if I just get into support. So going forward, when the second that item didn't scan, I should have got in a chat with support like immediately and text that UPC number and had support approve the item for me, however they would do it. But I left it up to the customer while I'm just standing there, and I'm standing there waiting, and I sent a message to the customer. I said, "Hey, I got another order here, so I can't like wait forever on this." I didn't use those exact words, but then then the customer starts pressuring me. No, 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 please don't drop this order. Just wait just a minute. I'm gonna get this solved. I'm on a chat with DoorDash right now. They're fixing it right this second as we speak. I wait a few seconds, scan it. It's still not scanning. And I send a message, well, it's still not scanning. And then that customer like goes back to square one. Well, can you find the where the original item was supposed to be? And I said, no, I can't. And then they're like, well, now remember, this is toddlers. It's not in the boys section and yada, yada, and this and this and that. And see, I thought we're past all of that. You're kind of like going back to the beginning, wanting me to find the original. No, you already said that this substitution was good. All we need is for me to be able to scan this substitution. That's what we need to do here. And anyway, long story short, because now at this point, I'm at like 15 minutes on like one item that if I could have found it and it was in stock, well, you're talking like 30 seconds. But I'm dicking around with this customer and for 15 minutes and still nothing. And then I ended up just marking it as unavailable, no substitutions available, and dropped it and got the half pay. Now, one more thing I'll say about that is I heard another Dasher, and I'll just have to kind of like research this and figure this out on my own, I guess. But I heard a Dasher say that if whatever a customer wants as far as a substitution, I'll get them that item. And they were like, there's ways around that. You can, and this Dasher acted like you can, if you had like a shelf tag of the original item, you could, for instance, according to this Dasher, scan that shelf tag like you got the original item, but you don't. You're going to be checking out with something else. But as far as the app is concerned, you scan the original item. So, I don't know. It seems... I don't know. Is that something that I should try to see if I can't do? But in this case, I couldn't have done that because I don't know where the shelf space was for that original item. The substitute that I got was what the customer, what I did find was what the customer wanted. It was white shirts. It was the same size. It was just a different brand and 5 shirts instead of 6. Otherwise, it's what they wanted. And I don't know where the barcode was for the original item. I just needed to get this new thing to where that I could scan it. So anyway, like I said, I'll figure it out. Next was a $29.25 Meijer, 14 items. Before I got to the store, they stacked a $5.50 Wendy's. Meijer Pay was, there's a $16.50 tip on that. And all total, start to finish, these 2 orders was an hour and 2 minutes where I made like, you might as well say $35 in 1 hour. So that was great on that order. Second order delivered out east, Obet's area. Then I had stayed in that area to do a $5.89 Sheets order, low mileage. And I was following GPS and there was a stopped train. had to turn around, go have GPS reroute me, and I was fingers crossed, hoping and praying that the rerouting wasn't just going to bring me back to where I was. But it didn't. It's a completely different route, and as stressed as I still was able to make the delivery. $12 Giant Eagle. I took this. It was mostly cleaning supplies, like 5 out of the 8 items. Stacked on top of that was a $14.25 Meijer, about 6-7 items there, and mostly kind of like weird vegan type of food, plant-based foods. And then a third order, an $11.75 Meijer, which was a sheet cake and some candles and cupcakes, like a party order that I normally don't like. But this was, I don't know that I've had this before. I had, when this was all said and done, of course I shopped the Giant Eagle, then it routed me to the Meijer. And then I left Meijer with 3 shopping orders in my car to deliver. That's pretty crazy. My wife joined me, and after the last shop was over and I was now set to deliver, my wife joined me for the rest of the dash. After those deliveries, we got a $4.50 McDonald's, which we did. That was coming back to this area right here where I live. Then a $7 Aldi's was next. We started making our way to Aldi's. They stack a $4.25 Aldi's. Not that many items. Between the 2 items total, probably like 12 to 15 items. We busted it out. Didn't have any much problems with it, except for I was looking for salmon like along the cold wall, but my wife is the one that realized that no, this is canned salmon, not fillets from the cold wall. So she saved my butt on that one. We took a $4.50 UDF. The workers in there weren't too happy because I arrived just as they were starting to make the order. So the ticket had just printed out, and then I walked through the door. So they weren't too happy. It was a thing of ice cream and then like a milkshake and a coffee. And I asked my wife, and she was nice about it. She held the cup carrier for me. But we got a $3 McDonald's stacked onto this order, which I took. Super low mileage, less than a mile. And so I felt kind of bad. She was holding that drink carrier while we picked up McDonald's, delivered McDonald's, and then go to the UDF customer. Then the last stack was a $32.74 Meijer. 15 total miles. Like I said, 2 orders, 54 items. Hey, I got my wife with me. She's willing to do it. So we go in there. We have the luxury of, one person pushing a cart for each order. It's really super helpful. And unbeknownst to us at the time, I was pushing the cart for the smaller order, and like I said, unbeknownst to us at the time, that order was delivering to our next door neighbor. How crazy is that? We had all of that shopped in a half hour flat. 54 items, 30 minutes. And that was with like some of the, I've noticed, and I noticed this today as well, some of the snacks, they're not putting the aisle numbers anymore on some of these Meijer items. So we had a little bit trouble finding, I think it was like some fruit cups and like applesauce but just a little bit of difficulty with that, but not much. And that was it for May 28th, 14 deliveries, 8 hours, 16-minute dash, active 6 hours and 2 minutes, made $145.88. So way above goal there. drove 108 miles. So I'll take that. Now after that dash, 3,135 deliveries. Real, like I said, I only had the 2 declines. Started that dash at 65% acceptance rate, raised it up to 72%. So I'm back up into the 70s now and hope to stay there because I don't, like I said before, I don't get the catering orders when I'm below, say, like 65. So I try to stay above in the 70s if I can. And that is it for this dash, and see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.